before that, Mike Tenay has a video. This is awesome. So on Nitro earlier, we didn't really talk about it. It could probably maybe be a separate episode, or maybe talking about it more in depthly in another episode. But the David Flair, Stacy Keibler wedding, how it went wrong, how Ric Flair got involved, and his fault, the why he's not married Stacy Keibler. It is, she's pregnant. It is who's really the father. So, Ric Flair and David are having their problems. So Tenay ends up going to his house and talking to him, and Tenay is like in shock. He's a mess. The room's a mess. Everything is crazy. David is actually really good actor here. It just seems like it's almost like Mike Tenay goes to like Hannibal Lecter's house and he's like this serial killer nut job with everything all over his face, this complete mess. But because of Rick, who he said was a horrible father, because of Stacy, who betrayed him, so he thinks. So we don't know what's going on like with Dave Flair, but he's nuts. So of course, as you remember at the end, he beats up the mailman, and Mike Tenay has to call for like the police or whatever. Like,
oh God, bro, people that shit on the Vince Russo WCW era, 90% of the stuff you're telling me, I completely forgot about. I don't remember David Flair beating up a mailman. But my God, bro, I come off of watching SmackDown on Friday and Raw on Monday, which is the absolute drizzling shits where when the show is over, there's nothing to review. There's nothing to talk about. And then I sit down here with you and you walk me through these shows and I'm like, are you effing kidding me? I would kill if Monday Night Raw was like these shows that I wrote. I would kill because I sit there for 2.5 hours. The show ends. I got to do a podcast, and I'm literally sitting there wondering, what am I supposed to talk about? Out of what I just saw that last 2.5 hours, what am I supposed to be talking about? So people that knock this era and knock my WCW work, either you never saw it or kiss my big fat ass. The WWE wishes it could be this entertaining today.
This was great. If anybody hasn't seen it, I would go out and see, because this is like David Flair at his best, not wrestling, doing a vignette at his house. Mike Tenay's being the straight man here, and David is nuts, and he goes so crazy. He's beating up the mailman because he's like, "It's the mailman, cheated with Stacy." Like he lost it. He lost his mind.
That's tremendous.
Next up, Sting beats Vampiro and Great Muta in a triangle match. ICP, Violent J, and Shaggy 2-Dope are out there. They're on commentary. They do an awesome job on commentary. I love their fake old school wrestling voices. And this is Douglas Donovan here, and that was a great takeover. Like, they're awesome.
Those guys are the best. Those guys are the best. So how was this match?
Actually, it was only 5 minutes. It wasn't good because it was clunky, because the whole thing is about Vampiro and Muta not getting along. So it was really clunky. It just was more storyline driven than actually trying to be a good match.
Some matches like that, depending on the storyline, could be hard to book. So I mean, I get that.
Then after Sting makes the win, because basically Muta and Vampiro couldn't get along, then ICP and Vampiro with Dark Carnival beat up Muta, who they're supposedly were with, because he cost Vampiro the match and they thought Vampiro could win the match. So there's all friction there. So when Muta is getting beat up by ICP and Vampiro, Sting comes back and makes the save. So, making Muta and Sting the old enemies there. So the announcers were, playing off their history. Like, they're like, whoa, Sting made the save here. The ultimate babyface Sting makes the save.
That. Yeah, I like that. Very good. What a writer.
Look at this.
Who wrote this shit, bro? Like, seriously, man.
Bob Mould, probably.
Yeah. The guy was so stiff on Bob Mould, it's not even funny. And I feel bad about that too.
Whoa, why? He's a legend. What are you crazy? Oh my God. Pamela Paulshock interview in the back with that 70s guy, Mike Awesome. And guess who he has with him? Gary Coleman, the Gary Coleman. What is going on here? How did you get Gary Coleman? What is going on?
And another guy who absolutely hated the gimmick and wanted to be, just generic Mike Awesome in his black trunks. Bro, that was the gimmick. We were going to bring in, 70s, 80s stars constantly to help him win those matches. That was part of the gimmick. Remember, he drove the Partridge Family truck?
Yeah.
If you let me do my freaking thing instead of fighting me, it's going to work, bro. But when you fight against me, it ain't going to happen.
Man, how did you get Gary Coleman? Is that an easy get? Was he doing nothing at this point?
Probably through the agent and stuff. Yeah, it's probably easy. Yeah.
So it's a bunkhouse brawl. Mike Awesome versus Jeff Jarrett. Mike Awesome gets the win over Jeff Jarrett in the bunkhouse brawl in 9 minutes. So not really hurting Awesome too much. He gets a win over, the former WCW World Heavyweight Champion Jeff Jarrett.
Yeah. Did Jeff hit Coleman with the guitar?
Yes, that which kind of causes a distraction of him. Like he's too focused on Gary Coleman. Yeah. Gary Coleman, which is so funny. He's wearing a hat. Why is he wearing a hat? Obviously, he's got something under the hat. Jarrett nails him with the guitar. Awesome. Maybe one of the greatest guitar shots of all time.
Tremendous. Yes, tremendous. Yeah. Bro, I got to tell you, man, if you catch that guitar wrong, it hurts. Like you think it's just the bust. Bro, I took one guitar shot from Jeff, and I remember it because it hurt. You've got to catch it like right on the crown. If you don't catch it right on the crown, it's gonna sting.
And he doesn't like swing it very lightly. He freaking wails you with it. Yeah.
He got me with it on TNA once, and it stung. Yeah.
That is one of the most famous guitar shots. That and the Beetlejuice one also is another famous one.
Was tremendous because you and I talked about this. Jeff was scared to death. Beetlejuice didn't understand how to sell it. He was scared to death. And, bro, Beetlejuice sold it like somebody shot him in the head, bro. He was tremendous, man.
Other thing with this match, the Buffalo Bills are actually getting involved and then they end up celebrating with Mike Awesome at the end. Did anybody tell the Bills like that this is like a work and that Jarrett's working? Because they literally were like trying to kill him.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, athletes get excited. Like they always get excited. Bro, was there anybody of notoriety from the Bills?
Not that I remember or could think of, or anybody that really stood out. It looked like it was maybe a couple of offensive linemen and D linemen. Off the top of my head, I can't remember like anybody that stood out.
Got you. Okay.
But Jarrett, man, he's like a heat magnet. I guess they just get so crazed. They just, they think it's real. They're like, I've got to jump the guardrail and get this guy.
Yeah, Goddess, I wish somebody watching John's show, it would be entertaining as shit. Put together a reel of every non-wrestler that Jarrett hit with the guitar, one right after the other. Put that together. That would be, because I remember, bro, Ben Stiller. I remember Cindy Margolis. I mean, there were so many people. I would love to see a reel of somebody doing that. That'd be awesome.
Even like Moolah and Mae Young. That was awesome.
Yeah.